My buddy Joe and I located 2 big deer on one property, and it would be a dream season for just one of us to wrap a tag around one of these deer. So this season was a little bit more of a unique situation for me. A really good gentleman from church gave access to me and just a handful of guys to a 1,000-acre chunk of property that we were going to try to figure out. It's an old coal mine property that I had actually hunted years past, so steep ridges, lots of thermal turmoil going on that I really had to learn and figure out throughout this season. And then obviously goes into ag on some of the neighboring properties, but on this chunk, mostly timber and heavy terrain. So Joe and I, our strategy really was to go in and do a bunch of scrapes, a bunch of mock scrapes, and just hang cameras. I really picked out one deer that we called Iron Hide. I set my focus on this deer. I said, I don't care which one of us shoots him, but I'm gonna hold my tag until I get an opportunity at Iron Hide. And Joe had mentioned now he kind of has a crush on this deer Skywalker. And so that's kind of the focus that we went into the season with, was I was gonna kind of hunt the area that Iron Hide was in, and he was gonna focus on Skywalker's core on that property. Another strategy was we were doing hanging hunts, bouncing around in different locations, didn't have many Novixes hung. We're not trimming a bunch of lanes in this property. It was super thick, and so ultimately that had a big role in some of the outcome of our season. Skywalker was frequenting the scrapes, and it wasn't until October 25th when we really felt like one of the better opportunities for us to go in after Skywalker was really playing out right in front of us. We had a small cold front moving in, and we knew that he had kind of made a loop, and we kind of felt like we knew where he was bedded on the one side of this ridge. And then we had a mock scrape on the other side of the ridge, and the ridge really kind of pinches together and really funnels the deer through one particular area. And we were getting him on a scrape, and we felt like he was coming through that funnel.
Alright guys, so it's October 25th. Me and Javin decided we're gonna go do a hanging hunt. We're actually in between some bedding areas. We got water and food. We're in between those two. We're on a buck called Skywalker right now. It's daylighted, right 500 yards from here this morning. And so we are just hoping that he hits a scrape here behind us later tonight.
He hasn't hit this scrape in a few days, and we know kind of the loop that he's making, and I know he was headed this direction this morning, so we're just hoping for the best here. It kind of funnels through here really well.
Joe didn't end up getting a shot that evening because a limb was just right over the scrape and the shooting opportunity that he had. So he ended up walking out of that hunt, and Joe was pretty down that evening. So the following morning, we were going to go hunt Iron Hide and let Skywalker go and go hunt Iron Hide for a morning hanging hunt. And he was on the other side of the property, about 3/4 mile away was where we thought he was living. And my strategy on that hunt was, again, a funnel and using thermals going up off of the ridge top. And we got in super early, about an hour and a half before daylight, that we were in the tree set up ready to hunt. And luckily we had gotten in that early because we had does come in as soon as I had pulled my bow up that morning. And there was actually, I'm pretty sure there was a buck with them. We were hearing some thrashing and stuff. Could have possibly been Iron Hide, but he worked off with the does before daylight. But we sat there the rest of that morning, and just a beautiful late October morning. And Joe taps me on the shoulder and was like, "There's a deer coming. I'm pretty sure it's Skywalker." I'm going to try to give him the bow, handing the bow around the tree, and we're getting ready to do the switch, and hopefully Joe can get a crack at Skywalker.
I smoked him, dude. He's dead. He's freaking dead. Yes! What just happened? I smoked him. Wow. We would not have sat here if we would have tried to kill that deer. Oh, absolutely not. This was not the spot. He was meant for you, dude. You freaking smoked him. He smoked. I can't believe it, dude. I cannot believe it. Good job. I'm so glad I shot your bow tonight. I feel comfortable. That's so awesome.
Holy cow. What a morning. Did not expect that at all. We were in here after Iron Hide, and Skywalker comes through. Let's go get him.
Show me that thing. Right there. Yep.
Is he in the hole? You say you smelled him?
Yep. Yeah. I smelled him before I seen him. Down in the hole.
Oh, dude, he was looking for a spot to get out of here. I gotta hide from this killer.
Look at those beams, dude.
That's a perfect shot. Yeah.
This is why you hunt with buddies. He did. We got him!
All right, guys, so this is Skywalker. Shot him this morning at 8:15. This is not the buck that we were expecting to see this morning. We were in after a buck called Iron Hide. Unexpectedly, this boy shows up, and me and Javin did the old switcheroo. Shot him at 28 yards. Yeah, just want to thank Javin for just taking me on a ride. And then also, thanks to Kevin, again, for allowing us to hunt this property. And it is a blessing. And yeah, just thank you.
I'm excited to introduce a brand new Deer Society video series called The Art of Deer Hunting. Now within this series, we have categories such as the art of calling, the art of food plots, the art of scent control. We're gonna detail and break down all things in these categories plus more, from trail cameras, stands, scrapes, all things related to successful deer hunting is what this series is all about. This series is a culmination of all the information we've received internally from some of the best deer hunters across the country and the methods they've used to successfully harvest mature whitetails year after year. This is called The Art of Deer Hunting on the Deer Society YouTube channel.
So coming off of that hunt, we were obviously super excited. It's already a successful season. We got one tag on one of the target deer that we were after. And now it's my turn again to get back on Iron Hide. And it's only the end of October. And we're getting more trail camera data on this deer. The intel that we were getting on Iron Hide was mostly on the scrapes and cell cameras that I had located on mostly ridge tops. I mean, he daylighted a lot. He was on his feet a lot on camera in daylight, and really kind of was a testament, I think, to not being too intrusive to his core areas in the bottoms. So going into the first week of November, I really started feeling like maybe I'm just on the one edge where he likes to bed. Maybe I need to start focusing or looking at the other side. The morning of November 8th, I decided to go in blind on one ridge and just do a hanging hunt. Told Joe we're going to do a little bit of blind calling this morning, and this sets up perfect for my favorite blind calling spot. Is a morning hunt on the edge of a ridge with the wind drifting off the ridge just a little bit and the thermals rising up that first 30 to 45 minutes of daylight. And it wasn't 10, 15 minutes later, I saw movement coming up the ridge. And I looked at Joe and I said, it's him. I grabbed my bow and I got a couple cameras rolling, and I thought it was going to happen. My target deer was at 12 steps broadside, and it was just wicker basket the whole way. There was no shot opportunity, and he walked out of that hunt. You know, my mind just replays and replays that super close encounter and what could have I done different, what could have I changed to change that, but ultimately that's the way it is and we have to move on. So coming into late November, getting in the mindset of trying to figure out how to late season hunt the deer with not a ton of food on this property. Unfortunately found out that the neighbor ended up killing him opening morning in gun season. Congratulations to the neighbor. And obviously our season was still a great success. Joe put his tag on one of the target deer, and so I'm not going to hang my head low on my season, but just super grateful for everybody that gave me the opportunity to hunt with a good buddy and bounce around like this on a property that a lot of people only dream of. And so super grateful for Kevin and all the other guys for the opportunity on this dream season that we had. So the keys to this successful season were trail camera intel and putting us in the right spots for Joe's deer specifically. Even though we didn't expect him to come through that morning, we were hunting in one of those spots that we had pinpointed and figured out where the deer travel through there regardless of what deer it was. And it just happens that morning in October that Skywalker came through and we were able to do the switch and had a great hunt that morning. Another key factor is utilizing blind calling, and my favorite spots again are ridge tops, edges of ridges where your wind is blowing off the ridge, just drifting off the ridge, and those morning thermals rising up to where there's nothing really that can get your wind. Perfect spots for blind calling, because so many times I think there's so many deer that circle around downwind if you don't have a great setup, and they end up picking you up and you never get to see them. We were able to have my most intense encounter with a 5.5-year-old deer at 12 yards. What more can you ask for?
Thanks for watching this Deer Society Hunt Breakdown. Subscribe to the channel for more great educational content to help you become a better hunter. From podcasts to the Art of Deer Hunting series, hunt breakdowns, tips, tactics, and a whole lot more. The Deer Society is all about deer hunting education.